Hi, I'm Carbondale Mayor Ben Bohmfalk, and I'm so excited to welcome you to today's 5th annual Mountain Pitch event, the first one focused on nonprofits. Carbondale has always been a community that focuses on both economic resiliency and community and working together to address challenges, and nonprofits are a key part of that. As a small municipal government, here in Carbondale, we completely depend on nonprofits to fill the gaps in the services that need to be provided to our community. So we're so thankful to have such a thriving group of nonprofits, both here today at the pitch event, as well as based around town at the 3rd Street Center and other places doing the critical work for our community. Please join me in welcoming these nonprofits today, and I wish you all luck in the pitch event.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mountain Pitch Summit of 2022. On behalf of COVENTURE and the Roaring Fork Angels, we are proud to introduce our 5th annual pitch event. As always, I'm your host, Diana Pfeiffer, and if you've joined us for past events, you know that typically we hear pitches from startups collecting capital. This year, however, we wanted to shift focus to some social challenges, such as affordable housing, financial literacy, food insecurity, mental health, and other wide-scale issues that need complex solutions. And for those, we need to hear from our nonprofit communities. After screening over 300 nonprofits here on the Western Slope, we've selected 6 to pitch in this event. Each nonprofit will have 5 minutes for their pitch, followed by a 2-minute Q&A. All of our organizations need financial support, so a donation link for each nonprofit will be posted in the live chat during the pitch. This event is only possible with the support of great people. So I want to turn it over to Martha Heim, Director of the Roaring Fork Angels, to hear a brief word about our very special community sponsors. Martha?
Hi, I'm Martha Heim, and I'm Director of Roaring Fork Angels, the local chapter of West Slope Angels Investment Group. And I want to welcome all of you and thank you for joining us today for our Mountain Pitch event. I want to thank all of our sponsors here, without whose support we would not be able to put this event on. And I want to highlight our title sponsors. Slifer, Smith, Frampton, and Forbes Real Estate have joined us on this entrepreneurial journey, not only as sponsors, but as true partners. Their team of growing agents have been with us from the get-go, and we're grateful to have them as community champions. Alpine Bank is one of our truly great, successful entrepreneurial stories of the Roaring Fork Valley. They're headquartered in Glenwood Springs and now have locations all over the West Slope and in Denver. They provide key support to community initiatives ranging from scholarships to event sponsorship. And First Bank of Colorado offers tremendous resources and expertise to our entrepreneurial ecosystem. They offer a comprehensive range of services and are an active part of our entrepreneurial community. Colorado Lending Source, now known as B-Side Capital, is an important bridge connecting entrepreneurs to financial resources in our community. We're grateful for their ongoing support as we strive to help businesses, ranging from operating capital to infrastructure purchases. So I want to thank again all of our sponsors, especially our title sponsors, and good luck to all of our entrepreneurs, and enjoy the Mountain Pitch event.
Welcome, everybody. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce our judges really quick. This year, we have co-founder of COVENTURE, Mr. Tyler Mabius, Silicon Valley investor, or longtime venture capitalist, is Mr. Rick Carlson. And last but not least, we have Ms. Erica Snow, who is the executive director for the Aspen Community Foundation. Welcome, judges, and thank you for being here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are finally ready to get started. The first pitch is going to be given to us from Dr. Scott Cooper. He's here to tell us about EPIC, Educational Pathways to Innovative Careers. Labor shortages are a huge problem, especially across the nation, but we feel it here in the Valley. This school focuses on training young women and men in specialized careers such as electricians, plumbers, mechanics, or even aviation technicians. Scott, your 5 minutes starts now.
Hello, I'm Scott Cooper, former school superintendent for nearly a decade, and I participated in many high school graduation ceremonies. And students would walk across the stage, grab their high school diploma, and head on to university or college. A growing number of students, though, were choosing not to head on to university upon graduation. That started to raise some concern for me. The question was, were we preparing these students for the workforce? A couple of years ago, I saw an opportunity to join the Colorado River BOCES team and to help lead the Career Tech Ed department in developing career pathways for students to prepare them for the workforce. Today, I'm the Career Tech Ed director for this team, leading educational pathways to innovative careers. I want to talk a little bit about the challenges that we're facing here. College is overpriced. Many of us know that, and our kids are beginning to understand that as well. In fact, half of all students graduating on average in high schools across the state of Colorado are choosing to not go on to college. The return on investment is not there, and they don't want to take that risk. In addition to that, we have a workforce that's aging out. They're retiring. It's creating tons of vacancies. So for every applicant that they get in the workforce, they have 2 vacancies to fill. So very desperate times. So our EPIC model is to create career technical education pathways that are connected seamlessly to the workforce needs. We're creating pathways in construction trades, that's plumbing and electrical, etc. We also have computer science, like cybersecurity pathways, automotive pathways, aviation pathways, all leading to work-based learning experiences in those trades, and then leading to careers that have a high return on investment. So when students participate in our EPIC career pathways and they graduate from high school, they will land a career where they can have a living wage, raise a family, buy a home in our communities. Speaking of our communities, let's talk a little bit about the recent impact we've had over just the last couple of years. 54 students at Yampa Mountain High School have graduated into the career trades, and 32 of them are continuing in those career paths today. We have 63 business partners that are creating internship opportunities for our students. We have 62 students that are currently participating in 5 EPIC pathways. 10 teachers across multiple schools are being sponsored to earn their career technical education certificates. In addition, 58 CTE online courses are offered at no charge to the students through our partnership with Colorado Digital Learning Solutions. So where are we going? 2021 was a pilot year for EPIC. We hosted many industry listening tours to better understand what the workforce needs were out in our community, and so that when we were creating our educational pathways, they would align seamlessly to meet those needs. We also created an EPIC core leadership team. This consists of school leadership, BOCES leadership, industry partners, the Colorado Workforce Center, Migrant Education Department, investors, and COVENTURE. This year, as we're into year 2022, we are expanding on those partnerships with industry, schools, and community. We're creating additional EPIC pathways, and we're expanding our local industry commitments. And then as we approach 2023, we're really excited about preparing to construct our first EPIC facility. We're onboarding new EPIC instructors and coaches, and we're increasing our fundraising efforts. Let's meet the team. At the core of it all is the Colorado River Board of Cooperative Educational Services, providing educational services to all of our member districts from DeBeck up I-70 through Glenwood Springs, Roaring Fork Valley, on to Aspen School District. We also have the Colorado Workforce Center creating a seamless bridge between employers and employees, and COVENTURE, the business incubator on the Western Slope, connecting us with many businesses. Okay, let's talk about some fundraising goals. We've successfully raised $1.4 million already through grants, donations, and in-kind contributions. These funds will support our efforts to scale up 10 EPIC pathways across 10 high schools in our region. And by 2024, we're moving into the launch phase. Now, we're actively raising right now $3.5 million for operations. That covers teachers and counselors and programming for these 10 EPIC pathways over a 5-year period. The student supports, we're talking about 3,000 students in these high schools that are currently not on track to go into college or university. They need the skilled trades to go into the workforce. We want to provide internships and discovery programs for them. There's also marketing and faculty costs as well. Sponsorship opportunities. Here's a great way for you to get involved and contribute to these EPIC pathways. Something as low as $10,000 will support 5 students through the EPIC programs. You can go up as high as multiple hundreds of thousands to help with capital improvements as we get into building more EPIC satellite facilities. So solving our workforce challenges. We have a lot of information on our website on how you can get involved as a donor or a partner school or an industry. And then here is an EPIC YouTube video that you can find on our website. Great student testimonial on there about their experiences in our EPIC pathways. I want to emphasize that EPIC is truly a private and public partnership. Industry partners are committing their time and their resources to the EPIC pathways. And then here is my contact information, so please reach out to me with your questions, suggestions, and I'll get right back to you. Thank you for your time today. Please join us in this effort to make a positive difference for the kids. Educational Pathways to Innovative Careers.
Scott, welcome to your Q&A. Excellent job on your pitch, very inspiring. Our first question is going to come from Mr. Rick Carlson. Rick, are you ready?
I am ready. Scott, EPIC is arriving just in time. But what does EPIC need to be successful, in your opinion?
You know, right now, what we need more than anything, we're actively fundraising $3.5 million to support operational costs over the next 5 years. We've been very successful with achieving smaller grants, small to medium-sized grants to afford equipment needs and things like that, one-time purchase needs. But the operational ongoing costs are really our next big financial goal. And so that's why we're asking for up to $3.5 million for the next 5 years of operations.
Scott, that really sounds great. Well done.
Next question is coming from Miss Erica.
Yes, thank you, Scott. That was really helpful background. My question is, which pathway has actually received the most interest?
We've got a few good ones. The most interesting one, though, I'd have to say, is our construction pathway featuring tiny homes. And this is an opportunity where students are actually building tiny homes, learning construction skills. It's a neat pathway in that it's really been a true partnership between industry and our schools to bring those two entities together to build a workforce pathway so that the students actually benefit from the learning and get some leadway into work-based learning opportunities. We've received a few grants to help support the materials. And the neat thing from industry is we're starting to receive some of their in-kind donations, either equipment donations and or their time to come and help provide some instructional support with the students. So that has been a productive pathway. And then the end result is the completed tiny homes to address affordable housing needs in our region. So we've been very happy about that. A lot of excitement around that pathway.
All right. Thank you so much. That was a quick Q&A, but you did great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
We have to move on to our next event. All right.
Okay. Thank you all. Okay. Bye.
I'm excited to introduce our next presenter, Ms. Barbara Freeman. She is the founder and CEO of the nonprofit called the Savings Collaborative. They're having huge success in bringing financial literacy to underserved communities. Last year, the nonprofit won investment from NPX Capital over 90 other organizations across Colorado, probably due to all their hard work in bringing financial resources to individuals who need them most. All right, Barbara, you're on the floor. 5 minutes starts now.
Financial freedom starts with fair access. The Savings Collaborative is a savings club built around an app. As a nonprofit, we take a unique approach to empower families living in poverty and on low income to take control of their financial futures. The road to financial stability starts with 2 minutes and $5. Our mission is to make it easy for families and individuals to save money and build the habit of savings. We ask, what does a home cost? What does a college education cost? What does peace of mind cost? The answer is always the same, 2 minutes and $5. It takes literally 2 minutes to open up a savings account, and you could start with only $5. Faced with an unexpected expense of $400, nearly half of all Americans are forced to go into debt. The lucky ones are helped by friends and families. The unlucky turn to payday and predatory loans and lenders who charge steep fees, further indebting them. Others sell things or choose between paying their rent or paying their utility bills. Many just do without. Most Hispanic and Black low-income families are underbanked. This means that they get charged high fees, do not have lines of credit, or access to wealth-building loans. The Savings Collaborative is a holistic system that combines high-tech and high-touch, so people can start saving little by little, build emergency savings, then grow their assets over time. At its core, it is a multilingual savings app that is secure and very easy to use. From the app, you can deposit, withdraw money, open children's accounts, set up recurring deposits, beneficiaries, and much more. Financial education, including goal setting and budgeting, is built into the app. We use research-based behavioral nudges to motivate people to continue to save. And we combine this with monetary incentives and rewards that accelerate the savings and enable people to reach their goals and their dreams faster. Culturally matched local ambassadors are key to introducing people to the Savings Club. Building trust in the program through relationships is fundamental to our work. Already today, with only a pilot program in place, members have collectively saved over $1.9 million. Now, what makes this truly extraordinary is that this is on a median deposit of only $30. We have helped people buy cars, start businesses, and over 1,700 families have an emergency savings account and a cushion that they didn't have before they joined the Savings Club. Many of these people struggle economically and have needed to withdraw money, whether to pay for the rent or to pay for other basic needs. The great thing is that they had it in their savings account, and they were able to take the money, and this has given them a sense of financial independence. Importantly, after withdrawing money, more than 80% of people who have saved at least $400 continue to save, showing that people are developing the habit of savings. We also provide emergency loans to our members, microloans, up to $5,000, and most have been for medical emergencies. We have made over $135,000 in loans with no defaults to date. What makes our results so remarkable is that 95% of our members are Latino immigrants, working hard as housekeepers, caregivers, construction workers. Most live paycheck to paycheck, all are on low income. Our pilot program has focused on Garfield, Eagle, and Pitkin counties. If we zoom out to a wider view of Colorado, we start to get a sense of the need. And we have already started to grow into this market. Zoom out again, and you can see that the need across the country is immense. Now, there are other organizations that are working with the same demographic, but no one is offering the breadth of technology, services, and incentives that we are. And the whole reason that it's easy for people to save. Our team and board bring a rich diversity of culture and perspectives. Building on this diversity makes us both innovative and empathetic. Together, we bring decades, probably closer to centuries, of experience in education, technology, finance, nonprofit leadership, and community outreach. Our partner network is equally diverse. So far, we have reached our members through word of mouth, but also by working with organizations that already have established trust in their own community, and then that trust extends to us. Our model builds on these collaborations. The app remains central to the Savings Collaborative, but we go beyond the app. At each level of this ecosystem, we provide more resources, more support, and more influence. This leads to behavioral change at an individual level, helping people save money. It also leads to sustainable change because we are embedding our offerings into legislation, government, and business services, structural change. Our pilot program grew from 15 members and $500 in savings in 2019 to 250 members and $250,000 in savings a year later. And today, here we are 3 years from our start with about 2,000 members saving $2 million. Imagine where we can be in 3 years. We estimate that we need $3.7 million to expand our organizational capacity over the next 3 years. This will enable us to get our services into the hands of more Coloradans who face financial instability. We have a strategic plan for this growth with clear milestones at each stage. And as we grow, we are diversifying our revenue streams. This will mitigate our risk of sole reliance on philanthropy in future years. We are confident in our ability to secure about half of the 3.7, and we're looking for the other half to help us get to the finish line. Most importantly, each day, little by little, we are dismantling barriers, breaking the cycle, changing the balance, 2 minutes and $5 at a time. Thank you.
Barbara, thank you so much for your pitch. Excellent job. We're going to go right into your 2-minute Q&A, so get ready. First question, I think, is coming from Mr. Rick Carlson.
Barb, good to see you again. It's been a long time. What do you think the Saving Collaborative could look like in 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, thank you for your question, Rick. In 5 to 10 years, we'll be a statewide organization with a robust partner network of banks, social justice-focused businesses, and government. We will have served tens of thousands of people, helping them go from zero savings to establishing an emergency savings fund that could cover an unexpected expense or economic shock. And for thousands more, we will have provided safe, low-cost microloans for emergencies to avoid predatory lending and built bridges to banks for mortgages, small business loans, and other wealth-building opportunities. The Savings Collaborative will have created the first rural regional financial empowerment center in the country. In collaboration with Pitkin, Garfield, and Eagle counties, we will be providing one-on-one financial counseling and have helped thousands to reduce debt, establish credit, and save more money. And in 5 to 10 years, the Savings Collaborative will be recognized as the leader in enabling low-income families and communities to start saving and as an on-ramp to economic stability and financial freedom.
Wow, excellent answer. Thank you. Okay, our next question is coming from Ms. Erica. Ready when you are.
Thank you. That was an amazing presentation. I'm curious, what kind of investor are you looking for?
A great question. We're building long-term strategic relationships with people who are passionate about our mission, who have expertise in banking and policy, business development and fundraising at scale, strategic PR and innovation. And we're looking for strategic investors who can help unlock significant capital to enable Savings Collaborative the time to scale and supercharge its power and abilities to make a difference in people's lives.
Well done. Excellent. Love your mission. Love your enthusiasm. Thank you, Barbara. We've got to get to our next event. So everybody stay tuned.
Cheers.
For those of you who are new to this event this year, COVENTURE is a business incubator and co-working space here in Carbondale. Let's head over to get a quick tour.
COVENTURE is a nonprofit based in Carbondale, Colorado, and we offer programming for businesses and nonprofits, big and small. We offer co-working space on the main floor as well as private space on the second and third floors. With your membership, you'll get access to Wi-Fi, printing, office supplies, private conference room space, and complimentary coffee and tea.
Hi, I'm Teresa, the Admin Director here at COVENTURE. COVENTURE is a lot more than a co-working space. We have a mission to empower and support local communities and businesses in the Western Slope. We offer different membership levels. For example, we have a daily and weekly drop-in rate as well as a dedicated desk option.
We also have reservable resources like conference rooms and a private office that can be reserved on a daily basis.
If you'd like to learn more or schedule an appointment for a tour, feel free to reach out to us via email or by phone. We look forward to seeing you.
Our next organization is called Aspen Strong, and here to pitch today is the Executive Director, Angelina Taylor. What started as an answer to Pitkin County's suicide rate, Aspen Strong strengthens communities through focus on mental fitness with early intervention and prevention practices. In light of recent challenges that our local mental health providers have faced, Aspen Strong has been a bit of a beacon of hope for us. Angelina is here to tell us more. Your 5 minutes is on the clock.
Hi, my name is Angelina Taylor. I am the Executive Director of Aspen Strong. We are a local mental health nonprofit that serves the Roaring Fork Valley and Colorado River corridors. I got involved with mental health in 2008 when my brother became sick with schizophrenia. It was a really scary time for me and my family, and just not having the resources or the know-how to navigate the mental health system of care was super scary. So Aspen Strong's mission really spoke to me, and that's how I got involved. 1 in 4 people will struggle with a mental health condition in their lifetime, and we actually argue that that's 4 in 4 people. Really, like, we should all understand the highs and lows of life and know what our resources are around mental health, just as we do around our physical health and our dental health. It's just very vital. The pandemic has completely exacerbated mental health, as we know, with 1/3 of our population reporting struggling with mental health related issues. Anxiety's up, depression's up. It's a real issue. And then in our area, we have 3 times the national suicide rate in our area. There's a lot of things that contribute to that. People moving here, expecting to live the ski bum lifestyle and all the kind of things that come with that, but not realizing that the cost of living is high. We have a housing crisis here. Salaries are low, and so these start to contribute to people's mental health issues. There's provider overwhelm here. We have a lot of people moving to the area and not enough providers to serve them. Issues with our state-funded mental health entities. So all of this kind of just compounds and makes the mental health crisis even worse in our area. So our answer to that is connection. As we got a crash course in during the pandemic, connection is so vital to all of our mental health. Collaboration is key. We collaborate with a lot of the local organizations and private entities as well as national entities to bring resources to the Valley. We believe remaining approachable is going to be one of the major factors in curbing the mental health crisis and breaking down the stigmas. And remaining curious about all of the different modalities, realizing that mental health is not a one-size-fits-all approach for anybody. And so we need to be open to experiencing all of those. So people, place, and purpose is really what we focus on. And kind of just as the cholera epidemic was cured by water resources and improving water resources, so too kind of is prevention and early intervention for mental health. So really focusing on prevention and early intervention to take off the strain on the higher systems of care. So we do this through a multitude of different programming. Our mental health fund is a fund that local therapists can tap into to get up to 10 free therapy sessions for their clients. We're working on an insurance initiative which will help to panel and credential more providers in our area with accepting insurance so that our workforce can use their insurance to get mental health care. Our workshops provide resiliency tools and coping techniques for local youth. Peer support groups are a great way for people to come together and find support with one another and share resources. Our online tools are a plethora of different tools that people can access for emotional literacy. And then our mental fitness coach program is a new development, which will be a resource and navigation resource that people can use to navigate the system of care. In 2021, our fund distributed $78,000. This year, we're on target to distribute about $100,000. Our insurance initiative started with a boost from Eagle Valley Behavioral Health this year. 218 people attended our workshops, 64 people came to our peer support groups. Our online tools were accessed about 2,000 times, a little under 2,000 times. And like I said, the mental fitness coaches program is a growth initiative for 2023. In 2021, the Mental Health Fund distributed $78,730. This supported 147 people in our community with 1,800 therapy sessions. And really, this doesn't even scratch the surface of the need in the community. Since managing the Mental Health Fund, the stories that come across my desk are nothing short of heart-wrenching, and we would love to be able to support everyone. Currently, we operate with a $258,000 budget and have $1 million secured for over the next 4 years, and we're really looking to bolster that to have $1 million operating budget. And we would love your support in getting us there. We have an amazing team built up around us with our founder being a licensed clinical therapist and multiple other therapists on our board. We are supported by some amazing entities in the area, the hospital and the bank, to name a few. So we really feel like we have great community support on our mission and what we're doing. Aspen Strong recently had the honor of working with Dr. Will Blesdo, and he is really a strong advocate for seeing the personalized advocacy that we bring to the community and how critical it is for our community. He is one of the many examples of people that support and see the value that Aspen Strong is bringing to our community. We would love it if you would join us in the mission to help the mental health crises in our area. Thank you.
Angelina, fabulous pitch. Welcome to your 2-minute question and answer. We're going to kick it off with a question from Tyler Mabius. Tyler?
Yeah, Angelina, this is kind of really near and dear to my heart, just from my own personal experience over the past year, and how apparent it became to me, the lack of service and options that there are for seeking help. And I'm just really curious, what's your plan on filling the gap and being able to provide the services that you've laid out in your presentation?
Yeah, so I think traditionally the approach of mental health has been very prescriptive, and it doesn't seem to work well for mental health. Kind of if you think about the judicial system and how we incarcerate, and then people kind of wind up being in that cycle. Similarly with mental health, that happens. And so by taking this more proactive approach and really filling the gap on this early intervention and prevention aspect, we really feel like by providing people with the tools and the resources on the front end, we can kind of keep a lot more people out of the system on the kind of higher, more acute end of the scale. So that's a lot of the work that we're doing with Aspen Strong, with our workshops, with providing funding so that people can get the help that they need early on, early intervention, and making those more accessible for people.
And our second question comes from Ms. Erica.
Yes, thank you, Angelina. I'm curious, if you could grow and you had the support to grow, what does that look like for you? What is your vision of growth, and how big can you grow?
Sky's the limit. Right now we would love to grow our staff and have a much stronger, just a larger staff. And we currently operate out of a co-working space, and we're kind of up and down the valley. So we'd love to have more of a permanent space where we can host all of our workshops and have our coaches be present at those spaces. And so
Currently, we do serve Aspen to Parachute, and we're much more focused up Valley, and we'd love to be able to focus more further down Valley. And I think with more staffing, we could be able to accomplish that.
Boy, you do not have an easy mission, but thank you for thank you for tackling it.
Thank you.
It's truly inspiring. Thank you so much for your time today, and great job with your Q&A.
Thank you.
Next to present today is Eden Vardy. He is the founder and executive director of the Farm Collaborative. Typically, farms can be islands, a little bit disconnected from other farms. We selected the Farm Collaborative to pitch today because they are currently working to build an agricultural ecosystem. This is a long-awaited initiative and will connect small farmers from around the state to a network of shared resources. Eden is going to tell us more. So over to you in the pitch room for your 5 minutes.
My name is Eden Vardy. I am the founder and executive director of the Farm Collaborative, and am thrilled to share our new farmer support ecosystem with you all today. So the farming situation that we are in globally is facing a crisis. 1 in 3 farmers is over 65 years old. Farmers report a tremendous amount of mental health challenges. Income that farmers make is significantly less than many of those in other fields, but they work significantly harder. The skyrocketing costs of land, coupled with climate change and other financial barriers, are keeping a lot of would-be farmers from entering the field. And as a result of that, the nation is losing a tremendous amount of farmers on a regular basis. In the last decade, we lost over 100,000 farmers. Climate change is making all of these things harder, and our agriculture industry is struggling at large because of the impacts of climate change. Also on the climate change side, our agricultural industry today contributes at least 37% towards all global greenhouse gas emissions. So in other words, agriculture is contributing to climate change and then is further impacted by climate change. But if we do farming a little bit differently, we can not only reverse and reduce the impacts of climate change, we can put carbon back in the soil, and we can also relocalize our food systems and help to take care of our communities in a more integrated way, where food equity, food access, and food resilience is part of everyone's conversation. There is a global renaissance taking place right now of young people that are putting down their office jobs to enter a career in agriculture. I call it the farmer renaissance. Millennials in particular have rated agriculture as one of their top 10 career trajectories. In other words, if they could do any job, one of the top 10 choices is agriculture. But the tremendous gaps that people face entering the fields keeps many of those would-be farmers from becoming farmers. There's also a tremendous amount of solutions that show that agriculture can work. Here in the Roaring Fork Valley, our local group, Seed Peace, has demonstrated a financially viable regenerative model that both takes care of the land, takes care of our community, and produces food for all segments of our community. And the demand for local food is at an all-time high. Some of the issues during the COVID pandemic exemplified the challenges of our supply chain and the challenges we face when we don't have local food that is there and available for us. So in order to address the gaps and put together the solutions, we are proposing a farmer support ecosystem. Now this support ecosystem will bridge all of the different solutions that individuals and that organizations are working on across Western Colorado, such that those that would be farmers, those that are entering the field, have the solutions that they need to solve the problems that are keeping them from being successful. The farmer support ecosystem would include training, to land access, to market opportunities. It's really addressing the full continuum of challenges that would-be farmers and ranchers face and provide solutions across the spectrum so that farmers in any stage of their development, from first entering the field to growing a successful marketing enterprise, can be more successful in doing so. And there is so much land here in the Roaring Fork Valley that is available for local food. A lot of that land is held in public and in easement that will maintain its agricultural status in perpetuity. And we just need the farmers to be able to grow on it. And in order to get those farmers, we need to help to address some of the challenges. And that's what the farmer support ecosystem does. The farmer support ecosystem is hosted by the Farm Collaborative. Farm Collaborative has been in operation since 2008 and has successfully deployed many projects to date. We have raised over $5 million to build out our learning infrastructure and conference hall at Cozy Point Ranch in Aspen. We've raised close to $1 million for our revolving loan fund that is hosted by the Two Forks Club, which is a project of the Farm Collaborative. That fund has served over 37 farmers and food entrepreneurs in the region and has helped to grow their enterprise in a much more sustainable way. The Farm Collaborative also has taken ownership of Edible Aspen magazine, which is an award-winning magazine here in the region and has published 4 issues a year, and has a very capable team that has been working together for a long time. The farmer support ecosystem has already secured 9 partners and 7 collaborators. Partners are organizations that are providing services and helping to reduce the gaps that farmers and ranchers face. Those gaps include things like access to land, or access to financial resources, as well as training programs and opportunities for increasing their marketability. There's also, in our partners, we have Lift Up, which is helping to address food insecurity in the valley and providing a guaranteed market for beginning farmers that are growing food that are part of that ecosystem. I know that Lift Up is another presenter in this pitch today. This program is ready to launch. We have already raised and deployed the first $150,000 of capital to build the ecosystem. That fund was raised to conduct a ecosystem-wide analysis of what the gaps are that farmers and ranchers face in Western Colorado. It was put together by the University of Colorado with partnership of several master's degree students that are doing their capstone project on this program. And as I mentioned before, we already have a large team of collaborators and partners that are providing services in the region that have signed on to be part of this. So we are raising a total of $750,000 in order to launch this ecosystem and make it successful. The first $150,000 has already been raised, so we just have $600 left to go. And with that $600, that will allow us to build a robust website that will provide a full landscape of all the resources available to farmers and ranchers in the region, as well as hire the team to deploy and act as caseworkers for our aspiring farmers and ranchers, or for those that are already in the field, to have resources to tap into in order to be able to find what they need and be more effective in the field. We'll also be able to expand some incredible training programs that are happening here in the region and provide resources for our partners that I listed on the previous slide that are helping to put this ecosystem together. Farming is a mighty river of discomfort with eddies of beauty, truth, and joy. And what I take from that quote is that farming is really hard. And farmers have so much risk and so much challenge today. And while there is tremendous demand, the gaps seem overbearingly difficult to overcome. And we believe that we can do that and address those gaps by putting together an ecosystem with a continuum of support services so that our farmers and ranchers can thrive and in turn help take care of us to eat local, eat healthy, eat well while taking care of our regional environment. Thank you.
Eden, excellent job. Thank you so much for that wonderful pitch. We're going to get started with your Q&A, starting with a question from Rick Carlson. Rick?
Yeah, hey, Eden, I really, really love this idea. What do you think are the potential outcomes of this ecosystem?
The potential outcomes from this ecosystem will have ripple effects on our local food economy. I think it will help just to make all the resources more available for the farmers, the ranchers, and all of our different food-related enterprises in the area to make our local food system more robust, more resilient, and more prolific, which will mean more healthy, good, delicious organic food for us and for all segments of our community. And so by piloting this solution in a region that really cares about it, and that really does have an integrated and connected community that stands behind our farmers, by piloting it here in the greater Roaring Fork Valley and kind of the North Fork area, we're creating a template that can have ripple effects out to food systems all over the country. And big picture, I think can not only have implications on how we are working on feeding ourselves and taking care of our farmers, ranchers, and community at large, but also how those farming practices can benefit our climate, because these types of agriculture systems also have a positive impact on our climate and therefore our future generations.
All right, Eden, your next question and your last question will come from Tyler Mabius. Tyler, whenever you're ready.
Congratulations on all the great work thus far here in the Valley. It's been really impressive. Really excited to see you take this next step. And I'm a huge believer in localized agriculture. And just curious if you can maybe elaborate a little bit further in terms of how does a stronger alignment at the state level going to directly benefit the local farmers here in the Valley?
So our proposal is actually for a regionalized farmer support ecosystem. So it's for the kind of central western region of Colorado, what we would consider to be our local food system, roughly Vail to Grand Junction, Aspen to Glenwood, and Carbondale to roughly Delta area. And the premise of the ecosystem is that once we have deployed the farmer support ecosystem in this region, and it has effectively supported this region's farm and food system, that it can be replicated and expanded out to other regions in Colorado and nationally and eventually internationally to support local food regions. And the way that it will benefit farmers and ranchers in the community at large is by providing direct mechanisms for support and by helping to remove the gaps that predominantly beginning farmers and ranchers face when entering the field. And as I kind of mentioned in my presentation, the gaps are tremendous and meaningful, but the solutions are available. And it's really what our ecosystem does is bring those solutions together in a continuum so that all currently 13 organizations that are working on addressing food and farmer challenges in the region are working as a unit through this ecosystem to address those gaps and provide solutions.
Excellent, excellent. Great job, Eden. Thank you so much for your answers and your time today. We're going to hurry up and move over to our next event. So thank you so much for your time and best of luck to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
A big part of what COVENTURE does is provide business programming and consulting services. Many of the presenters today have used parts of these services. Let's go to our Executive Director, Mike Lowe, to hear more about that programming.
Hi, I'm Mike Lowe. I'm the Executive Director of COVENTURE, and I want to welcome you to the 2022 Mountain Pitch event, which is focused on nonprofits. As a business incubator, we're proud to expand our support for nonprofits as well as traditional businesses. Our programs, which include an accelerator program, a 12-week deep dive into a company's business model, a 4-week go-to-market strategy, and a number of sort of one-off workshops on everything from how to create a business to how to design a marketing strategy, have been widely available and widely used by our local community. In addition to that, we partner with local business entities, including Roaring Fork Leadership around soft skills, Colorado Mountain College and the University of Denver Executive Ed program for business skills. And we also work closely with the Aspen Institute on a number of events. So we invite you to come down to COVENTURE, join our growing community, take advantage of a class or one of our consultants, and help you move your organization forward.
I'm extremely grateful to COVENTURE and Michael Lowe in helping Lift Up and myself get ready for this presentation. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to connect with other partners within the Valley and an opportunity to put together a regional food hub that will help the community as a whole.
These are important steps for the nonprofit world and the nonprofit entities in our community to be able to have the support of an entity like COVENTURE that gives us a platform, that gives us the insights, that gives us the preparation, that we can step forward and be introduced to a host of potential funders to share our work, to share our vision, to share our need to have support, because we can't do our work without philanthropic support, donation support from those that really recognize the importance of our work.
Next to present is Ivan Jackson. He's the Executive Director for a nonprofit called Lift Up. Lift Up provides food security to individuals and families to end hunger in our region. They operate out of 6 fixed pantries with mobile distribution from Parachute to Aspen, and are currently collaborating with agricultural providers to provide us with a food hub. Ivan is eager to get going, so I'm going to turn it over to him. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Good afternoon. My name's Ivan Jackson and I am the Executive Director of Lift Up. I was born in London, England, and I moved to Colorado about 25 years ago. My first real interaction with food insecurity came when I was working for a non-profit organization at a school, and during that event we were dishing out some snacks for the people in attendance, and a young man started putting all the snacks into his backpack. When I questioned him as to why he was doing that, he said to me, "This is all I'm going to get to eat for the rest of the week." It was because of that statement that I'm doing what I am now for Lift Up. Lift Up is a non-profit organisation that for the last 40 years has been dealing with food insecurity for people living in the Parachute to Aspen community. During the pandemic, Lift Up dealt with an increase in guests being served up and down our community of 600%. Lift Up achieved remarkable goals by dealing with that pandemic. Our programs include 3 main locations. We have 6 fixed pantries, we have 9 mobile distributions, and we have 2 extended table locations at Rifle and Parachute. We believe access to fresh, healthy, and sustainable food provides hope and empowerment, strengthening our community. Lift Up is the leader in providing equitable food security for the individuals and families, educating, building understanding and support to end food insecurity from Parachute to Aspen. Food insecurity is a serious issue that affects the lives of many people living in Eagle, Pitkin and Garfield counties. In 2021, Lift Up served nearly 50,000 guests dealing with food insecurity. The concept to have a regional food hub will serve as the focal point for advancing a regional strategic food security plan and become the foundation of success and serve as a replicable model for other similar communities. The hub will provide space for warehousing, food preparation, production kitchen, local agricultural collaboration, affordable restaurants, education employment opportunities, as well as a food pantry. It will provide the community year-round access to abundance of fresh, healthy and sustainable locally grown food for a purchase price within the marketplace. Increased access to food for various underserved populations, and provide support to farmers and food partners, allowing them to expand their distribution capabilities and allow for more frequent and accessible food distribution. A priority of the hub is to support local agriculture along the Parachute to Aspen corridor. This project will serve as an important resource for local farmers and ranchers, providing them increased storage space. It will also allow farmers to expand the local food produced, making it a wider range and at a more cost-effective price. The hub will include the construction of a production kitchen on site. The production will be used to prepare and preserve food that can be stored and distributed throughout the year. Additionally, the kitchen will be used to prepare meals for delivery and the operation of our extended table program. The value of new food systems. Provide more opportunities to increase farming along the Parachute to Aspen community. Create partnerships with other food hubs throughout the region, allowing for increased food distribution and affordable food access. Increase job opportunities, not only within the hub, but within the community as a whole. To truly address the issue of food insecurity and create a sustainable farming, ranching distribution program requires the implementation of a regional strategic food security plan. The creation of a regional food hub is a critical step in achieving that. Recognising this fact, Lift Up is engaged with new venture advisors and we are creating a feasibility study. Furthermore, Lift Up is working with multiple local and regional community partners to ensure that the success of this project. These partners include Rocky Mountain Food Collaborative. They are creating a food hub in Denver. Mountain Coalition for for food and nutrition security. Pitkin, Eagle, and Garfield counties. Skips the farm market in Palisade. Farming coordinator for our farm to food pantry, which allows us to work with 30 local farmers. Multiple components are already in place to achieve this multi-million-dollar project. However, there is still much to be done, and we need your support. You trusted us through COVID 2 years ago, and you can trust us now as we deal with this massive project.
Ivan, excellent job on that pitch. Welcome to your 2-minute Q&A. We're going to start off quickly with a question coming from Mr. Rick Carlson. Rick?
I've been a great fan of Lift Up for an awfully long time. In your opinion, what are the most important partnerships to make this happen?
To create a regional strategic food security plan, I think there are two groups of partners that are most important to make. And one is our farmers, ranchers, and community growers. So we can source the healthiest, freshest, sustainable local food. And then working with our cities, counties, and community partner organizations to help us bring that food together, put it into a regional food hub to allow us to distribute it to the multiple different partners that need it.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, our next question is coming from Mr. Tyler Mabius.
Hey, Ivan. Nice to meet you. Thanks for all the great work. That was a really amazing presentation. Really ambitious vision that you have for the organization. I love it. And just curious what your overall plan.
Thank you. Yes, we've already started working with local communities and counties. So we're working with Pitkin County to have started a feasibility study. So that's already in operation. We've already reached out to multiple other community partners through the Mountain Coalition for Food and Nutrition Security to get their input and thoughts to ensure that we engage everybody within the community who has an interest in helping to solve this problem. And Lift Up's made some dramatic changes in the last 2 years. We have increased the number of mobile pantries that we have. We've increased the fixed pantries that we have. We're going through actually a complete overhaul of our operational programs. We are recognized as the leader of dealing with food insecurity in the Valley. And I think we're equipped to take on this heavy lift. We'll certainly be working with our community partners to make it successful. But I think the Lift Up of 2022 heading into 2023 is in a great position to make certain that this happens and is successful.
Excellent. Those are not small questions, Ivan. Very good. Well done. All right, everyone, we have to move on to our next event. So it was pretty rapid fire, but thank you so much, Ivan, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate your time today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Nonprofits benefit from a thriving community. The success of our nonprofits and the people they serve depend on the economic development in our region. Here is our Garfield County Commissioner, Tom Jankowski, to tell us more. Tom?
Hi, I'm Tom Jankowski, Garfield County Commissioner, and I'd like to welcome all our viewers to the COVENTURE Mountain Pitch event. Garfield County is a rural county in western Colorado. We're a large county. We stretch from all the way from Carbondale, where I am today, to the Utah border. We've worked really hard on economic development, and COVENTURE has been an important part of that, and they've been successful. They've had entrepreneurs that have gone on to open up businesses. We also have another kind of a co-op in Rifle, Colorado that COVENTURE coordinates with. On behalf of myself and my fellow commissioners, we appreciate this event. Thank you to the entrepreneurs and the presenters today, and best of luck to them. Thanks a lot.
Here to wrap things up for our event today is Gail Schwartz, CEO of Habitat for Humanity. Habitat has made huge strides in the affordable housing issues by building over 60 homes and housing over 200 people. They're actively working to create a manufacturing hub to expand their impact here in the Valley. Gail is ready to go, so your 5 minutes starts now.
I'm Gail Schwartz, President of Habitat for Humanity, Roaring Fork Valley. Regionally, we're in the midst of an unprecedented housing crisis, and we need nearly 4,000 homes to adequately house the workforce families and sustain our local economies. These workers are either underhoused, paying well over 40% of their income for housing, or driving excessive distances to get to work. The current housing stock cannot even accommodate new employees, and 45% of our public and private employers report they are presently understaffed. There are real social consequences associated with the lack of affordable housing: transience, family disruption, lack of job commitment, impact on our children, and unstable communities. In addition to the 4,000 unit shortfall, the region was significantly impacted by COVID. Rents increased 42%. Moderately priced home sales went to out-of-state buyers increased by 80%. Average home prices went up 40 to 70%. Mortgage rates increased 100%. Meanwhile, wages only increased 16 to 34%. The problem is lack of inventory. The solution is to build more homes. And as Habitat has been working hard at building homes over the past 22 years, from rifle to basalt. During the first decade, we were building one home at a time with local volunteers. Then in the second decade, we doubled that rate. And over the past 3 years, we completed the international award-winning Basalt Vista net zero community of 27 homes for teachers and essential workers. You can see that Habitat has completed 60 homes with local families and are committed to building 74 new homes in the next 30 months in Rifle, Glenwood Springs, and Basalt. By building at scale for communities throughout the region, Habitat can have a greater impact on the housing crisis. We're confident in our ability to build homes at this rate, based upon our proven track record. Since 2013, we gained significant momentum, going from annual revenue and support of $2.9 million to over $11.1 million in 9 short years, despite the pandemic. Habitat is a financially stable and sustainable nonprofit with a construction operation and nationally recognized restore generating nearly $4 million annually, selling and repurposing donated furniture and building supplies. This revenue covers 100% of Habitat's operations, administrative costs, and helps build homes, and services our $6.8 million restore loan. Additionally, we packaged nearly $8 million in mortgages from our home buyers through the USDA. Habitat has committed to homeownership because it's a game changer, and it also is a systemic changer. The documented benefits summarized below start with financial stability, wealth building, and ending with economic benefit to the local community. With homeowner mortgages and utility costs being a fraction of renting, ownership finally provides an opportunity for a family to plan ahead, make healthy choices, that they will have lifelong positive impact for generations to come. Some of our proud Habitat homeowners, consisting of 82 adults and 107 children in 5 communities, all of which gave hours of sweat equity to build homes, and that includes teachers and essential workers. Stories like the proud new documented U.S. residents with 5 little girls that outgrew their tiny rental now have 4 beautiful bedrooms that they can call their own, and they helped build them. The middle school teacher of 13 years who planned to leave the valley when their second child was born, and the only place for that second child to sleep was in the bathtub of their rented apartment. The disabled homeowner whose wife had to wash him on the living room floor in trash bags because he could not get upstairs to use the bathroom where the shower was. Lastly, 11-year-old Marianne, who never had a doorbell, or at least one that worked, and now her new doorbell reminds her that she is in her forever home. The solution to being able to change more lives is to build at scale with modular home production. This will lower the cost of building, reduce habitat subsidies, and generate more units per year. Currently, we're solving 1% of the crisis, and we could solve over 15% by producing as many as 700 units in the next 5 years. A modular facility of 40 to 50,000 square feet with steel construction can build homes out of wrecked cars, not forests. Meanwhile, training a new workforce and creating jobs. The funding request of $2.1 million is needed for startup costs, equipment, and facility improvements to a structure either rented or built to house the plant. Here's how it works. In order to achieve true affordability for 80% AMI households, Habitat for Humanity must subsidize each home more than $125,000 on average with grants and donations. The potential of reducing overall building costs with a modular production facility creates a subsidy savings of 50%. This slide demonstrates the real cost of construction underway for our 20 homes in Rifle using a panelized system, compared to the projected cost impact of modular units sourced from our own factory. Reducing the funding gap by nearly half will give Habitat for Humanity the ability to build at scale, produce twice the number of homes with the same dollars. $2.1 million funding opportunity with an enterprise zone tax credit incentives has a return on investment. You'll open the door to a new operation for Habitat for Humanity to build at scale. You'll reduce the subsidies. You'll build more homes. You'll create greater social impact and have the climate benefits with all electric net zero communities. In closing, our team, our board of directors, our partners, and our volunteers all make this work possible. On behalf of all of them, we thank you, and gracias.
Gail, thank you so much for your pitch. That was amazing. We would love to get into some details with you. So our two-minute Q&A is going to start now. Coming from, first question coming from Mr. Tyler Mabius. Tyler?
Hi, Gail. Thank you. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of different solutions out there for affordable housing, and just really curious, why are you going the path in terms of module, and why is that a better solution than some of the other ones that are out there currently?
Well, Habitat is committed to addressing the housing crisis, and we can only do it if we can build neighborhoods, build at scale, and that we're cost effective, and that time's on our side. Modular is the way that this off-site construction is the way that we can achieve those goals. We've also identified this cold formed steel production technology that is the building construction technology of the future. We feel that, again, you're taking recycled steel, and basically 3 wrecked cars instead of an acre of forest builds a home. That also fits our mission, our green mission, our mission to be really get to zero carbon, but it really does support that effort on our part. We believe in workforce development, and we are looking at creating a facility that brings jobs to where jobs are needed, and looking at the value of that cost of labor and materials in a controlled environment that works to our benefit, but also developing a workforce in part of our region that needs the jobs. And we're pretty excited about that.
All right, thank you. For your second question, we will hear from Ms. Erica Snow.
Yes, thank you, Gail. I'm curious, what separates Habitat from other affordable housing initiatives? And, what's the differentiator?
I'd just like to start with the fact that Habitat is a trusted partner when it comes to developing affordable homes in our communities. People know when we come in the room that we're there for the right reasons, that we're willing to do whatever it takes to get our families into 80%, 70 to 100% AMI homes, net zero, and that is our commitment. We've been proven at several levels. One is our experience to build homes, and having won this international award for the multifamily habitat project at Basalt Vista. That we're learning by doing. And that project really put us on the map because it married and broke the glass ceiling on affordability and energy efficiency, which is critical to the community and the families when they're paying $14 a month for their utility bills. Lastly, it is our family selection process. We're setting families up for success. We make sure our education, buyer education, our homeowner preparation, all of which, because over 75% of our homeowners are first-time homeowners, they need to understand what they're walking into. And as I said, we are a hand up, not a handout. We're setting families up for success. We want to make sure that they're not overextended. They can do that. They're ready to step into this role as a homeowner and fulfill their dream and the American dream for that matter. But so the trusted partner, the experience, and also the fact that we have, I think we have a system that works, protocols that work, and we're committed to them, and we're committed to our mission.
Excellent. Boy, I kind of wish you had a 10-minute Q&A, Gail, but we have to move on. Excellent job, and thank you so much for your time today.
So appreciate it. Thank you again.
Thank you.
And on behalf of COVENTURE, I want to thank all of our community sponsors who helped us 4 years ago get off the ground and continue to support us with resources, expertise, and capital. A special thanks goes out to Garfield County, the town of Carbondale, the Office of Economic Development, and all of the Rotary Clubs of Aspen Glen and Carbondale. Also, a huge shout out to Startup Colorado. They have been an important part of growing the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the Western Slope. And a final shout out to all of the chambers in the Roaring Fork Valley, without whose support we would not have been able to make this event happen. Thank you very much.
All right, judges, thank you so much for being here. You've all been hand-selected for your expertise and most of all, your wisdom. So before we get going, we'd love to hear some parting words for each of our entrepreneurs, some good advice for anyone, but especially the nonprofit world. We will start with Erica.
You know, first I want to start is you all are amazing leaders and have so much wisdom already. So I'm trying to think of what I can offer. And first, you know, when I think about the work that you all are doing and the work that nonprofits do, it's this a credible ability to be within community and working with community and really understanding kind of the day-to-day issues, kind of within your work, within your issues, and then on the ground. And I think that the biggest words of wisdom I would have is don't let that create too much structure for you. Continue to think and dream and think about how you can innovate. You know, so often I see nonprofits get kind of so bound to the way kind of you do the work and you lose sight of where you can grow and where you can dream big. So I hope you all continue to dream big and innovate.
Next judge here for words of wisdom will be Rick. Over to you.
Building relationships is crucial, and the better that you can make those relationships work is incredible. So building relationships, especially when it comes to, you know, partners and stakeholders, you really want them on board. And so, you know, being close to them, you know, keeping them updated on what's going on, I think is crucial. The last thing that venture capitalists tell their investors, their companies they're investing in, it really has to do with focus. It's easy to get distracted and it's easy to chase other opportunities to add to what you're already doing, but focus to me is one of the most important things. And I was lucky enough to you know, be a part of working with George Stranahan at Manaus Fund before he passed away. But these are the kind of things you'd hear from George Stranahan as well, especially regarding his love for nonprofits. But those are my words of wisdom for today.
Thank you, Rick. That was beautiful. Thank you. And last but not least, we'll hear from Mr. Tyler Mabius.
My background in entrepreneurship and primarily focused on for-profits, but super excited for this opportunity and all these amazing companies who are really taking on some of the biggest challenges, from food scarcity, labor shortage, mental health, affordable housing, financial stewardship, all things that we're so in need of. Having lived through a few recessions myself and having to captain the ship to a safe harbor, I guess that's would be my piece of advice right now. Just with the sort of broader economic uncertainty, I think taking a more conservative approach to how you're managing the business and how you're growing the organization is really important. You want to start to reserve some oxygen in the tank, and so for when for those harder times. And I think continuing to surround yourself with a really strong network of professionals and advisors always goes a really long way. You need to create your mastermind group. And so, a great piece of advice that was given to me once is that you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So I always encourage people to sort of take a look at who you're surrounding yourself with and make sure that you're getting the best advice and from the people around you. So.
Thank you. Perfect way to wrap. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here today. We can't do this without you, and we hope to see you next year. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It is not easy to pitch to a virtual audience, but our presenters did great. So well done, everybody. We hope you were as inspired as we were with all the great work these nonprofits are doing on such pressing issues. There are a lot of things we wish we could change in the world, but a great place to start is in your own neighborhood. These nonprofits give us avenues to create positive change. Food shortages, labor shortages, affordable housing, these are not easy problems to solve, but small moves from community members can go a long way. So, if you want to see these organizations succeed as much as we do, please go to the website of your nonprofit of choice and donate, donate, donate. Or you can go to coventure.io to learn about other ways that you can be involved. I want to give a big thank you to our presenters, our judges, and our sponsors, because without their time and energy, this event is not possible. I also want to give a final thank you to our director, Krisha, from Common Language Productions, for hosting and producing such a fabulous event. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll see you next year.